Hi, today we're going to be talking about Fatalii peppers. Now, Fatalii pepper is a hot pepper, quite a hot pepper, as hot as a habanero, and has a different shape of a habanero. This is an example of some Fatalii peppers that we processed last year. You can see the shape of the Fatalii is kind of long, almost like a finger, maybe 2 or 3 inches. What we've done is we've taken them, dried them out, and then, well, actually first what we did was string the string through them with a needle and thread. And you put enough of them in there to handle all your peppers that you bought, and then you just let them dry out. Now that you have the string of peppers and you want to use them, what you do is just break them off one by one, and you can grind them up or you can put them in a dish and rehydrate them. We're going to go out and buy some more Fatalii peppers. We're going to buy about 10 pounds of Fatalii peppers from the local farmer's market. Okay, the original deal on the Fatalii peppers that Homestead Farms offered me was that this container, it's a 20-pound, all right, container. I guess that's a standard.
Tomato box.
Tomato box. And this is like $45. And normally he sells his super hots here for $9 a pound. But come, let's take a look at some of the other wares that he has. All right. So these are the chocolate habaneros. Chocolate habaneros are more dangerous than their regular habaneros. I bought some of these last year, and some of the seeds are growing in the garden. Which one is this? Is this Scorpion? Okay, this and this.
Trinidad Scorpion.
These are the former. Oh, so they're all the same.
For the most part, I believe.
So these are the former record holders as the hottest peppers in the world, and these are official super hots, meaning they're over 1 million Scoville units. And are these are ghost peppers down here, right?
Nope. That's
no?
One of our mixed hybrids.
Would you care to elaborate?
We save our own seeds, and out of some Fatalii plants came these.
All right.
So that's a Fatalii hybrid of.
So it's kind of a mixture of everything you got here.
Whatever it pollinated with at the time.
All right. So it's your own hybrid. So are you going to call it like the Homestead habanero?
No, we actually have one that we call the Homestead, which is a hybrid off the Ghost.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bigger than the Ghost pepper, and according to my brothers, just as hot.
Trying to find.
All right. So these are just hybrids, and they're all like.
There's one to go.
You want me to try it, huh? Either hot or super hot. Okay, I'm not going to pop the whole thing in my mouth because I'm not.
No, all you got to do is put your tongue on it.
So I'm going to eat this.
Okay, you're going to eat. Oh, okay. You got to give it up to a minute. And then it kicks in.
Does it?
And it keeps kicking in for about 10 to 15 minutes.
And that's what I hear about super hots.
You gonna make it, man?
That's pretty hot. Yeah, it does build. I just hate the tips.
Yeah, just slowly build up to a half hour.
Come on the camera and take a look. Let's take a look at this box. The beauties of them. So this is the tip of the habanero. These are all beautiful Fataliis. And the reason why I like the Fataliis is that they're thin-skinned. They don't have very much in the way of seeds, do they?
No. You can have a couple of those to try too.
Oh, some of the scorpions, thank you. Oh, hi. Well, now with the Fataliis all procured, the next thing to do is to preserve them. And in order to preserve them, we're going to ferment them into a hot sauce. Now, fermentation is a process that takes about a month. And what you do is you put all the peppers in a fermentation crock after grinding them into a mash. This is a hash fermentation crock. It's made out of ceramic. It's 5 liters. You fill this full of mashed peppers. You mix them with salt, and you just leave them there to ferment for about a month. The fermentation crock is actually used for making sauerkraut. We're not making sauerkraut this time, but sauerkraut is a fermented food. And what you do is when you fill it in there, you put these ceramic discs on top, and this will hold the mash down underneath the water that always forms in the mash. Yeah, so you have mash, water, the ceramic rings, and then you put the lid on. And the lid, once you pour water into this lip, forms an anaerobic seal, which is to say that it will ferment without oxygen. And the reason why that's important is because it keeps down the mold. If you do a fermentation out in the open, a lot of the mold and yeast from the air will come in and kind of spoil it a little bit. You have to scrape the mold off. If you do an anaerobic fermentation, you don't have that problem. So that's what we're going to try this time. So in each of these bins is a half a kilogram of processed peppers. I've cut out all the bad spots on them and pull out the stems. Next thing to do is wash and make them into pulp. Now, one of the ways... Okay, these are the peppers right here sitting in a bath, and the idea is just to knock off the not to knock off the yeast and the natural bacteria, but just to knock off the dirt. Now this is a half a kilogram, 500 grams, and we're going to salt them. And the idea of salting them is to help suppress the bad bacteria and keep the good bacteria, which we want. Now, as you can see, this blender barely fits a kilogram. So this looks pretty good. You don't want to do it too much to heat up the mash and kill the bacteria. And how much salt do we use? 3.3% by weight. So this is a half a kilogram. So, oh geez. So I'm going to put in like 15, 16 grams of salt, which is about a tablespoon for, a little more than a tablespoon for a kilogram of peppers. On goes the lid, and to make that anaerobic seal, we put enough water in the lid so that the bubbles from the fermentation will come up, but no air will come in. That's it. Now, it takes a great deal of patience for this to ferment. I'm going to have to wait a month for it without opening it up or looking inside, because that will break that'll let air in. So, we'll see you in a month.